Hi guys, this is Vijay. So today I'm going to talk about that automation for the various products. So I'm going to start with the Cisco ACI and NXOS automation using the various types of tools. I'm going to demonstrate in the lab. So first tool which I'm going to discuss here is Postman. The second is Ansible. Third is Python. These are the some the tools and the scripts which I'm going to use for the uh, ACI and NXOS automation. So if we start with the automation, what object model which ACI Cisco ACI follows? ACI follow the object model called that the MIT, which we call that uh, management information model, which we call that managing tree. Also we call that, where you have one parents, one child, then subchilds. So this is a overall picture of the ACI managing objects, where you have a universal pool, then you have a tenants, then you have under the tenants you have bridge domain, APGs, and the layer 3 out subnets, all this creation. If we talk about the Cisco ACI foundation over here, so in Cisco ACI by default we have a Cisco Epic, which Cisco Epic supports the REST API model, and in the REST API model we have the various type of interface supports for the Cisco ACI. Okay, we can use the Cisco Epic using the web interface, using the Python, using the ACI Python, or third-party integration. Third-party such as Postman you have, Ansible you have. So basically, ACI has a REST API, Epic has a REST API interface which can support the XML, JSON. It can support the ML. It can support the Python. It can support the any in languages which can supports your tools. The majorly used languages and the tools are Postman and the Ansible Tower or Terraform for the ACI, which are the easiest for the network engineers. Unlike the other tools, for example, Python and the other tools where if you want to learn this automation, you have to really learn the languages. But Postman and Ansible are such languages, and Terraform such language where network engineers can easily understand those parameters and can create their own scripts for the configuration. Okay, these are the some examples I have here. So very first thing is what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tell you that what exactly I'm going to do for the uh, uh, ACI script here and the ACI automation. So if you see here, what are the pros and cons we have for the certain languages for the Cisco ACI automations. We have REST API, which we can use the direct API call for the script posting and creating and modification of your configuration. We can use the SDK. We can use Ansible. We can use a Terraform, Puppet. There are various tools which we can use for the automation of the Cisco ACI. If we talk about that Ansible can be used as an infrastructure as a code. It can use for this cloud Epic, your Epic on premises, your MSO or NDO. You can say that Terraform will support cloud Epic and Epic. It will not support the MSO. So if you're having a Puppet are also supported only for the cloud Epic and Epics. So before you use or prepare for any automation tools, make sure that there are compatibility should be available for this automation. Okay. So there are three action which usually we perform during the automation. First is a get. Get means gathering the information. Post means posting the configuration, pushing the configuration from the automation tool. Delete means deleting the objects, deleting the configuration from the any specific uh, uh, area. Okay. And when it comes to the REST API calls, we call the URI construct. So this is the REST API URLs you can call for the all set of configurations. For example, if you want to push the configuration for tenant, then this URL will be same, and last 3 and 4 format will be changing. If you want to do the BD configuration, then this URL will change. If you want to push the certain some bridge domain or layer 3 out configuration, this URL will change. So the very first thing is you have to make sure that you should be knowing that what API URL or URI you're trying to use for the pushing on deleting and getting the information from the your REST API APIC or SDN controller. The very first thing is you have to type your HTTPS, then APIC name or your device name. Then you have to type here what API call you're making that. So you have to the main entry for the API REST API request. Then you have to type the query type. What query you want to do that? You want to do the node class label query, or you want to do the node MO object label query. Then you have to type the identifier. Identifier means what exactly the name of the identifier. For example, if you want to create the tenant, you have to specify the tenant. If you want to create the breedy, you have to identify here what exactly you want to do that. Then you have to specify the format. What format you want to use? You want to use XML, JSON, and then other formats are also available. Okay, these are some extra parameters if you want to use, which we will discuss for the self and sub for the childs and subtrees. So I have a one tool called that Postman. So I have a Cisco ACI. So let me first design that one small thing to understand that this better. So I have a Cisco ACI here. This is the jump box I have. And these are I have a data centers. Okay. I have this ACI DC1 and I have ACI DC2. And I have a jump host from where I am trying to access this my ACIs. Okay. So this in this session, I'm going to configure the automation for the APIC. Also, in the next session, I'm going to configure automation for the NDO Nexus dashboard and other things. So in the jump host, I am logging to the jump host, and in the jump host, what I have here is I have a option to install the Postman tool. This tool will make sure that you have a communication with the Cisco APIC outer band IP address. Okay, this Postman or your jump host, wherever you're trying to install, this make sure that you should have the communication with your APIC devices. And this will make using the 443 API call, HTTPS or HTTP, whatever you configure that with the specific port. So if you have any network devices, for example, firewall, something like that, you make sure that you allow the specific ports for this from between the jump host to the your Cisco ACI. Okay, so if I go to the directly here, this is the free tool, and also you can purchase this tool for the your teams for your organizations. So if you type your postman.com. In the postman.com, if you see that here, it's giving me the lot of this page. This is the company organizational page you have. It has a lot of options where you can purchase this tool, right? For the free model, you can use for the your practical and the for your day-to-day practice. But for the organization, this is the cheapest version. You can purchase the professional level for your workspace for your you know all this automation activity. If you are really performing the 90% task in your organization through the automation, then I would suggest that use that either professional level or enterprise level for the Postman tool. What is the advantage you are getting in enterprise? You can have SSO login, you can have different audit logs, user group, you can create it for who will access what and what should be allowed for configuration. So you can manage a lot of things, right? Manually also and monthly also. And also, so I am going to have a free version for now. So let me get it started over here. So I will sign off first. So there is a two options we have. Either you can download from the you can log in through the web page, this Postman, or you can log in using your software. Okay, so I have already downloaded Postman app actually, where I have already logged in using my username password I have created. So if I go here, it is taking time. Just wait a second. Okay, so this is the very first time page you will see that this is the app, or even in the login also, you will see the same thing. So if you do not have a login, you can just directly download from here, and you can use the web page version of the your Postman, which is not, I would never suggest that to use a web page version, because you will not have many security options which you want to do that. Once you open this page, what you're going to do here is, very first thing is, you will try to uh, test the connectivity between the your Epic and the your Epic and this tool. Okay, so how to check that this Epic connectivity with the tool? So just give me a second. Let me close all the tabs which I have opened so far. Okay, so very first thing what I'm going to do here is, in the right side, left side, you have option called the environment. In the environment, what you can do here is, rather than typing the username, password, and credentials, you can directly create the environment details. You can create the DC detail or Epic detail using the credentials and the tokens uh, in the environment, and you can call this alias in the script itself, right? So very first thing what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to create the new environment. For example, I want to create the one environment which, just give me a second. Yeah, so if I go to the, here I want environment, create one environment. I want to say that, I will say that this is the Epic login for DC1. I will create this login. Okay. Then what I'm going to do here is, I will create here one login page with the using the Epic username password. Okay. So what I will do here is, I will just say that, or if you do not have username password, that is also, sorry, if you do not want to create the environment, that is also fine. Without environment also, you can create it. So what I will do here, I will say that protocol, I will say that Epic, the Epic, yeah, if I say that Epic, I will say that value, what is the Epic credential value I have? Let me get that credential value for me. So I have admin, sorry, this is the IP address I want to use for the Epic. Then, then I will say that the username, I will say that admin, then password. Then I will say that password you can put here. I do have Cisco 12345. Done. This is what variable I want to use it. If you want to use that, for example, token, you can have a token variable as well. But however, I'm not going to use the token, but for now, I will just save this. Okay. Now, if I click here, I will do one thing. I will create another folder. I will say that HTTPS, sorry, here, right click, I will click the blank collection. In the blank collection, I will see that test Epic connection. Okay. Then I will say that I will create one request. In the request, I will add that, I will say that Epic login. What login you want to do? I will say the .json I want to do the login. Then what exactly method you want to do that? I want to say that post the login, I want to say that. Okay. Then what I will have to do here is, I will just copy this one for now. I will click on the body. In the body raw data, I will click on the hit enter. Hit enter. This is the JSON format to give the username password. This is the JSON format script where you are calling that I want to do the AAA login, and these are the attributes: username and password, name and password. Okay. As of now, if you click on the JSON, this is the script which your Postman support: the XML, HTML, JSON, and Java, and text. And here I'm saying that no return content S. It means I don't want to validate any kind of a TLS certificate for now. I just want to have an unsecure connectivity. If I remove this one also, say here, save this. What I will do here is I will copy the URL. In the URL, what I will copy here is I will say the HTTPS. This is the epic IP address. Okay. And in this epic IP address, I want to do the API call for AAA login. Okay. If I say save this, and I will say that send. The moment I will send here, if you see here, I am getting the 200 code. 200 code means I am able to log in successfully without any issue. And this is the token I am getting that from the Epic. Okay. Now, what I will do here is, suppose, for example, I want to push the tenant. I want to create the tenant in my Epic environment. This is the manual way of using it. Suppose I currently I'm not using the variable. I'm currently not using the variable. Without using the variable, I'm able to log in the Epic. But for example, if you are writing the multiple scripts and you are busy with a lot of other stuff, then you can directly log in the variable itself. In the variable, what you have to type here is, rather than this one, you will type Epic exact name, which you have configured under this environment. In the environment, what you have configured? Epic. Then username, then password. So the moment I will type variable over there, it will automatically sync with the environment here. Environment data I have selected here. Then I'm sorry. Here, just give me a second. Here. Okay. I will click here. Then I will say that, sorry, I will replace this with the environment variable. I will say that do not need to type the Epic IP address. It will directly pick from where? From the environment variable, which has this detail. Epic username password. Similarly, I can type here environment username like this. Then if you see that it is automatically picking that which variable is using, which variable is not using. Then I will say that password. Make sure that the spelling must be matched. If spelling is not matching, it will not pick that. Look here. If I have deleted the D, it has totally removed from here. It is not picking that. So I will say that, no, I want to pick this variable. Done. I will remove last two options, then save this. Once it is done, again, if I try to log in the API, it will do the successfully login without giving the username password, because this username password and the Epic detail I have saved in my environment data. So I do not need to type the Epic IP address and your FQDN name of the Epic or a username password. It will automatically save from here, pick from here. Okay. So this is, and suppose, for example, I want to create one tenant. I want to create one tenant. So this is the JSON format template. So what I'm going to do here is I will say that Epic use this environment. First thing is what you have to do. First thing is you have to log in first. Then you have to try the configuration. So make sure that your API session is not expired. So the script which I'm writing here is in a body. I have not said anything as a header. I've said that in a body, raw data is I want to create function tenant. Name is I want to create tenant test. This is the name of the tenant test. Okay, for the Postman. And which format I have? I have a XML format, for example. If I post this, I don't, yeah, if you see that here, successful. If I go to my AP, I should be able to see that this particular configuration should be available over here. If I go to here, this is the easiest way of posting and pushing the configuration from the your tool. Now, if you see that here in the tenant configuration, If you look here, the one tenant has been pushed over here. And how this tenant is pushing here, you can go to the left side and you can see that uh, the logs for the Postman. If I go to the setting, if I say that API inspector, in the API inspector, whatever is happening in the network, whatever whoever is pushing the configuration, all the things you can capture from here. You can capture from here. So for example, if I post again configuration, Postman 2, test, yeah, Postman, sorry, Postman 2. And same the configuration again, it will form the API connectivity. And if I say here, look here, what is saying that in the inspector, API inspector of the API, it's saying that someone try to get the information and try to post the configuration. If you see that here, look here, post URL. In the post URL, these are the payloads which I am sending from the Postman. Look here. Okay, so this is how you do the basic authentication and the API configuration from the Postman. This is the one way of statically configuring the configuration. Now, the next task is how to create the bulk configuration. Suppose if you want to do the fabric build, if you want to get the application profile, if you want to get the access policy, how you can do that. So in the next session, I'm going to show that how to use the CSV file and do the bulk configuration using the Postman. And in order to learn that these languages, you do not need to learn these languages, right? You need to understand that the attributes, what attributes you are using. For example, if you want to create the tenant, if you want to create the bridge domain, right? In a bridge domain creation, if you want to create the tenant VRF bridge domain, if you want to create the VLAN creation, what attributes matters over here? Okay, so attributes you have to learn here, in which attributes you should be allocating what. Okay, I'm stopping here for now. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next session where I'm going to cover the the second part of the Postman with the advanced configuration using the CSV file. Thanks for watching.